The cards I start talking about. First, me.
Yeah, Daniel.
Hi guys. Yeah, Donuel Dex, Benedetto here. Got 4th place in the recent regional qualifier with Super Dragons. Again, I just revamped it a little bit. It really wasn't a lot, hasn't changed. I went undefeated in Swiss and then just had some bad breaks in top 4 and top 3. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at it now. All right, so this time I played the Buddy as Missile Bunker Dragon. I wanted to do it last time. I really didn't care about this tournament. I was kind of fooling around with this tournament a little bit, so I'm like, you know what, let me go with my guy. Use my hollow dude, so I'm good with this. It's a size 0 that allows me to gain a gauge and has penetration after he attacks. Then he goes back to defendment. It's size 0. 4 power, 1 crit, 1 good defense. You guys should know these cards from last profile, but we'll keep going through it. So obviously, as my buddy, I'm going to be playing a copy of. I'm playing 4 copies because
we just went over this.
Yeah, 4 copies of Missile Bunker have to.
Buddy.
You know,
standard.
That goes. We're doing this kind of quickly, so.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have 4 Boomerang Dragons. Okay.
Is this card explanatory by itself?
Yeah, it's a size 0 that bounces back to my hand after it attacks.
We're in a size 3 deck, considering it's Super Dragon.
Yeah, size 3 deck, so I'm playing 8 zeros. I want extra attacks. You know, they come in handy for, you know, link attacking and doing extra damage and things like that. So, you know, we're playing 4 of these guys to keep bouncing back to my hand, very important. It's one of the few, this deck doesn't draw any cards, it doesn't gain any advantage, so I need stuff that kind of like stays in my hand. All right, so next we're going to go on to the size 3s, which is the Super Dragons, so this is what makes the deck. We're going to start off, as always, with one of the best size 3s out there. It's Infernal Armor Dragon. Okay. This guy, he's a size 3 that when he comes out, he gains 2 soul. He doesn't get soul guard, but however, if one of the souls is an Armor Dragon, you pop a card on the pop a monster, and then you can remove 2 cards from this card's soul to pop another monster. So he comes down, he's like a nice wall in the center. I found out playing him in the center a lot today because everything was really jerky.
It's good.
So yeah, I found myself playing him more in center than I normally do today. But that's what he's there for. So he walls up. He can call him to the side too and just push. But you know he's really great for getting rid of walls. He's also great for clearing the center to push for game. All right, then we got 4 copies of the other card. That's my avatar, basically, and this is
Daniel's favorite card.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite. This is a card I used to have a buddy. It was great. Thunder Knight's Bastard Sword Dragon. This is a size 3, 7/2/6, double attack and move. So he's just an aggressive unit, a defensive unit, all in one thing. I did
super.
Again, you guys can check out my deck profile with Justice Swag from last time, or Justice League. You know, so if you want the in-detail versions of these cards. But yeah, Bastard Sword again goes in. He's the aggression of the deck. He's the he does aggression, plus he can also defend a little bit. So that card goes in. All right. Next we have 3 copies of my favorite card here. General Boldness. Obviously the SP is still in there. Again, people say this card is bad. I disagree highly. I feel like if you play it in the right way, it's amazing. It has moves, Soul Guard, Lifelink 2, pay 3 gauge, and you can put up to 2 size 3s from your monster, size 3 monsters from your hand to the card's soul. He's just a wall. He gets rid of weapons and spells by paying a gauge. He's just a solid unit. He is a bit risky to play. He requires a lot of investment. But when you play him in a size 3 deck like this, he does what he needs to do. He comes down first turn, runs the whole game, or he comes in, plays cleanup. All right, so now we have, and that 4 crit on the first turn is hilarious. And speaking of 4 crit, the new addition here is Fatal Arms Dragon. Now,
this is the only card you can explain in detail. I'm sorry.
Yes, this one I will explain in detail. This is a new addition to the deck. He is a size 3 monster, 6k power, 3 crit, 3k defense. I know, terrible defense. It does hurt a lot, but it is what it is.
I will call Barrett you.
Yeah, Fatal Arms Dragon is his name. He's paid 2 gauge cost, so he's paid 2 like a lot of my other units. And he has the most awesome abilities in the game. Because
let me just put this out there. Based on his position, he gains 1 of 3 effects.
Yes, I'm going to get that. Okay. Yeah, he has one of the most amazing effects in the game. He's so funny. He just does funny things. I call him Shuffle Dragon because he does the shuffle. He dances around the field. He has move, so that's great. And he has 1 of 3 effects depending on where he is on the board. And because he has move, I can change that all the time. So if he's on the left, I get an additional crit. So that's great dropping this guy first turn with a move, so I have defense for the second turn push when they push in like a bunch of cards at you. Plus I get to attack for 4 crit because that first 4 is like either getting your opponent to waste a shield in the first turn is great, or I'm hitting you for 4. Either way is good. If he's on the right, he gains penetration. so amazing for my deck because my deck does not have a lot of ways to penetrate other than my Buddy monster, which is 1 penetration, really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But that 3 penetration won me several games today. It definitely, that penetration effect is what won me games because I was able to penetrate in normal circumstances with this deck. I wouldn't. If he's in the center, he gains plus 4,000 defense. So don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, he's great. If he's in the center, he gains plus 4,000. So that 3K really only hurts on the side with counter removal spells when I'm attacking and such. So there's 3 Fatal Arm Dragons in this deck, okay? That had to go in. And rounding off the lineup, we have 2 Tembu. I know you guys saw the deck before. I was running 4 Tembu, 4 in the main, you know, with the cool cards. But this time I only played 2. I didn't feel, I felt like with Fatal Arms Dragon, I wanted to go more with the move strategy this time instead of the destruction strategy. So I only needed 2 copies of this. There's 1 in the side, so that made 3 copies among the entire thing. And then the 1 random copy of Armor Deity Diamese. This is a size 3 from Dragon World. It's a 7K, 2 crit, 6K defense. It's a pay 2 gauge, and then I must put a card from my hand into the soul of this card. But he's just like my Master Sword Dragon. He gains double attack and move, plus he gains the additional Soul Guard ability and the card I put in my hand. Sad part is he can't attack the sides, but the center is fine. Okay? So that's what he does, his damage rate.
I hate to do this to you, but I gotta go soon. Can you just hurry through the spells?
Sure, not a problem. We can just stop if you want. Alright, so we got Dragon Return System, so that's going to be 2 of. Pretty self-explanatory.
I mean, most of the spells are self-explanatory except this one, and even then it is. Oh,
True Drago defense. This card is a little bit better than Drago Energy because 4K is much more unpredictable.
Yeah.
4 Dragon Bonds because I play a lot of movers and this stuff does really, really well. 4 Dragon Barrier. Again, guys, no change from before.
Size 3 deck.
This card allows, this card allows me size 3. I can play it while I have a monster in my center, so it allows me to play both Dragon Bond and Dragon Barrier and keep on the same turn and keep my guys on the board. 4 Blue Shield. Do we need to say anything? It's Gauge. I need Gauge and I need Protection. 4 Green Shield just in case, because why not? I might eventually start cutting some of these, but Blue Shield's staying.
Side the extras if you cut them.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, weapons. 4 Drago. Steelfish Dragon Knuckle, you guys should know this. Gal's key weapon allows you to get a gauge when it inflicts damage. It can beef it up, some ruling things on that. And then my final 3 cards are going to be 2. I went 2 3-critter weapons this time because I want to do more defense with the move. And then this is just, I had to choose one, so I'm like, this is really good because it reduces boldness, his lifelink in case boldness leaves the field, other stuff like that.
Sideboard, yeah.
Yeah, sideboard's really easy. All right, we're gonna do these 4 cards first.
Spell nulls?
Yeah, it's pretty much Drum the Future and Drago Anthem. These cards are really in here for Ein. I have a very rough matchup versus Ein, so this allows me to get double attacks. This allows me to finish them off by link attacking so they can't Dragon Shield because they like to sit on that weapon and Dragon Shield the whole time. So that allows me to finish off the Ein deck before they give me problems. Then we have 2 copies for another one of my bad matchup stars because Frozen Stars shuts down my deck. I can beat face, I can win without it. I have 1 with stars on the board, but this makes it a little easier knowing that I have access to it. So if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I have to just work my butt off. And then rounding up the lineup, we have 1 additional Tembu, and the reason why I have a 3rd Tembu for not only rush decks, but because I'm also, again, like last time, I'm siding the 3 Paratroopers. This card is amazing. Allowed me some really, really awesome wins. Michael Carmack, Alan can definitely attest to those. 2 or 3 players can definitely attest to this. You know, it really can come down and stop rushes and then continue to set up my board. It's also really good against like Justin, which I have a problem versus Justin, but it allows me to basically let him extend, pop his board, and then not allow him to pop my monster with Graveyard on his turn because there's no monster on the board until after the battle phase. So again, that's just a way of just kind of like cleaning up my rough matchups because the main deck pretty much beats everything else except for Graveyard and stuff. But it is what it is.
Thank you for the great
not a problem anytime.
And the great day.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we can work on the MVCS some more.
Absolutely.
Thanks
guys,
for
have a good
watching.
day.
Joey from TBI signing out. We talk.
Bye bye guys.